What's good with it, Black Goose TV family? Double salute as always. Hopefully, your guys' Monday is going a lot better than mine is. I've had a hell of a Monday, a hell of a weekend. I'm gonna tell you guys about it, but definitely not in this video. This is strictly for the boxing side of the game. So let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all see already when it comes to the article, y'all see the headline below. Tevin Farmer versus Mickey Bay is back and set and official, and it's happening in August. Like I said before, and like I've been saying, man, August is really shaping out to be a hell of a month. You already know it's been a little bit of slow on the boxing side of the game the last 2 or 3 weeks, but you know we're reviving it back again when it comes to this particular weekend. And then after that, we off to the races because I'm telling y'all right now, August is finna be crazy when it comes to the boxing side of the game. So salute to the boxing gods. When I saw this headline, I was ecstatic. I was very happy because you guys know originally, obviously, I'm a very big Tevin Farmer fan. Tevin Farmer is one of my, favorite fighters for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? I followed him all the way back to when originally the mega fight in the 135, 130 division was Tevin Farmer versus Gervonta Davis. So how many of y'all is OGs of boxing when it comes to, and some of y'all are gonna be like, man, that's not OGs of boxing. You still a young nigga. So like I always say, man, I'm old to some, young to others, but I still remember when the big fight in boxing at the 130, 135 division was Tevin Farmer versus Gervonta Tank Davis. I still remember when Tevin Farmer was on his run, he was going crazy. People would say, you know what I'm saying, his defense was the closest thing to Floyd's that we've seen in a fighter. I still remember all those things. So, Tevin Farmer, I love Tevin Farmer, man. I love his beautiful display of boxing skills. I love the way he's able to work his jab. I love the fact that he doesn't have an amateur career and he basically got his bumps and bruises by just fighting the best right out the bat. And that's why his record doesn't seem that great, but he hasn't lost in a very long time other than that Coco Diaz fight. So I'm very excited to see him back. I think I'm pretty sure this particular fight is going to be at 140. But I'm back. I want to see him back in the races, going to get a very formidable opponent, Mickey Bay. Mickey Bay is not washed, at all. His last fight was against George Kambosos Jr., which he lost a split decision, and some would say a controversial split decision. So both Mickey Bay and Tevin Farmer have been out of the ring, kind of around the same amount of time. I think Mickey Bay's been out maybe a year or two longer, where Tevin Farmer's been out, I want to say, I think 2 or 3 years, Mickey Bay about 4. So it's a good fight. I don't think this is an easy matchup for Farmer at all. I am definitely leaning toward Tevin. I think he's just a better fighter. He's a younger fighter. He's he has a little bit more to prove than Mickey Bay, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Mickey Bay has been talking that good shit for a minute, so who knows? Mickey Bay might surprise us. Remember, Mickey Bay's only loss is that George Kambosos controversial loss. He retired after that, so. I'm happy to hear what's going. I'm happy to hear they ended up, rescheduling this because for a minute I didn't think they were going to reschedule. I was scared because it was originally set for Dubai or Saudi Arabia, one of the two. And when it got canceled due to the death of the Saudi Arabian president, I want to believe, forgive me if I'm wrong on who I'm speaking about, but I thought maybe they're not going to end up rescheduling it. It's just going to be scrapped. We've seen that with a lot of fights. Like we saw that with Jamal Charlo versus Selecki. Jamal Charlo ended up getting injured, and from what it looks like, Jamal Charlo versus Selecki is probably not going to happen. Charlo's probably going to end up fighting somebody else once he's back healthy. We saw it with Andrade versus Parker. Andrade got injured. And remember, I told you guys we're probably not going to see this fight end up happening. And now, obviously, we see that it's not going to happen. We see Andrade having his mandatory for the WBO belt being activated in Gennebeck. And then also he's calling out Chris Eubank Jr. for a fight. So obviously Zach Parker's out of there. So I was scared the same thing was going to happen. And the reason why I was more so scared for this than maybe the Andrade Parker, the Charlo Selecki, or should I say why I cared more is because Charlo and Andrade are both in positions where they don't have to fight the guys that they were going to fight. Obviously, they were going to take that fight and do those fights strictly to get closer to the Canelo sweepstakes. Canelo lost. So obviously there was no point for those. In this particular instance, Tevin Farmer needs to get back in that ring and fight somebody so we can start talking about him again. People can remember how good he is, and hopefully he can be talked about in that same conversation as the guys as Garcia Davis, Devin Haney's, George Kambosos, Vasily Lomachenko, because he deserves it, guys. As much as you guys may be like, whoa, hold your horses, he deserves it. You guys remember what he was doing, 4 years ago. He was the top of that division when it came to the 130 division, 135 division. He was the guy to beat. He was a beast. And a lot of people would have loved to see him against Loma. A lot of people would have loved to see him against Mikey Garcia at the time. Like there was a whole different slew of names that we wanted to see him against. I don't like the fact that we took him back so much because of that Coco Diaz fight. So I'm really hoping he has a revitalization in his career after this fight. And I'm going to be tuned in. I'm going to be watching it intensively. I'm going to have all eyes on it. So I can't fucking wait. So now, with all that being said, that's obviously my opinion, me giving you guys a quick rundown of what's going on. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the article. It won't be that long. I just want to give you guys specifics rather than just going off of what I know or what I see. I'm going to give you guys a specific. So if you lasted this long, I appreciate you. Please hit the like button below. Subscribe to the channel. Road to 5K before the end of the year. You already know what it is. Comment on this joint if you have anything to say, whether it's positive, negative, in between. It has nothing to do with the video. I really don't care. It helps the algorithm. So help your boy out. Then once again, subscribe, like the video. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this article. Let's see if there's any details that I missed out. And I can go ahead and add in. Salute the boxing scene as always. On Friday night, August 12th, former world champions Tevin Farmer and Mickey Bay will finally square off in a 10-round lightweight bout. The fight will take place at the Finlay Toyota Center in Prescott, Arizona. So this is going to be at 135. The night of boxing will be carried on pay-per-view at Redemption Pay-Per-View. The fight has successfully been rescheduled after the event was moved from Ghana to Dubai. So it was Dubai, not Saudi Arabia, excuse me. The show had to be postponed after the president of Dubai passed away. So there we go. That's why I do the nitty gritty, man. That's why I look at the details, man. It corrects me. Farmer, 31 in Philadelphia, has a record of 35-1 with 6 knockouts. Farmer won the IBF Super Featherweight title on August 3rd, 2018 with a 12-round unanimous decision over former world champion Billy Dibb. He went on to make 4 successful defenses over James Tennyson, Francisco Fonseca, Jonah Corral, and Guillermo Frenos. In his last bout, Farmer dropped his belt to Coco Diaz on January 3rd, 2020. Farmer also has wins over Angelo Ward, Tim Witherspoon Jr., Tyrone Lucky, Camilo Perez, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Victor Chernice, Angel Luna, Dallas Prescott, and Darden Zanujas. Bay of Cleveland, Ohio is 23-3-1 with 11 knockouts. Excuse me, I said his only loss was to George Kambosos. I was wrong. Sorry about that, guys. A ring veteran, 17 years, Bay won the IBF title with the 12-round split decision over Miguel Vasquez in 2014. His last fight, Bay lost a split decision to current undisputed lightweight champion Kambosos on December 14, 2019 in New York. So there we go. A little bit quick rundown. I was able to clear up a little bit of details that I got run in reference to Mickey Bay only losing to Kambosos. He did lose up to 2 times. And then obviously, just a little rundown also of what Tevin Farmer has done. But it is official. It's happening. It's happening in Arizona. I'm not sure how the card is going to be, what time it's going to be at, but August 12th, it is going down. I can't wait for this particular fight. Please, BlakGooseTV family, let me know what you guys think. Are you interested in this all? And let me ask you guys this. Do you think Tevin Farmer still has a chance to make some noise in this division? He went on the hiatus, but obviously before he did that, he had a lot of steam behind him. The fight to make before that loss to Coco Diaz was Gervonta versus Tevin. There was even some boxing people, boxing heads, close to the, ear to the ground that thought that Tank and his team was avoiding Tevin Farmer because they thought he wasn't ready at the time. Now, obviously, it's totally different because I think Tank gives Tevin Farmer hell. But during the time they were slating Tevin Farmer versus Gervonta, a lot of people did speculate Tevin Farmer was a little bit too advanced. So do you guys think this is a possibility for Tevin Farmer to get his name back into that 135 division and everyone talk about that's, see him against one of these big names that we're talking about and, him be part of some of these bigger fights that can, possibly happen? Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, BlakGooseTV family, man, road to 5K. Help your boy out. We on our way. We moving slowly but surely. But let's ramp it up just a little bit. I appreciate you guys as always, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, notification, gang. Keep showing love. You already know what it is. Black Goose Fluence in the building on the Arnold Schwarzenegger side of the game. I'll be back, but with more boxing. Stay blessed, not stressed. Double salute. I'm out of here for now, but I'll be back.